Yes, welcome to my dear friends and good morning everybody. And today we'll discuss about the new topic that is a very important and interesting topic. As we know, you already completed the 4 topics, and today onwards we'll start the chapter number 5, and the name of the topic that is about operational amplifier. The topic name is about operational amplifiers. And we are going for the lecture number 1. Here, as I said, we are completed the 4 topics, and today onwards we start the new topic. It is a very important, very interesting topic, and not only you are studying in your TU level, if you go for engineering or any other degree, once you are studying about the operational amplifier. And why it is so important and so interesting? For the point of exam, you are having more marks, nearly 10 to 12 marks in your exam, and also it carries so much weightage in electronics. And in the today's class, you go for the introduction. And you go for the definition, or you go for the what is op-amp, and why it is called op-amp, why it is called op-amp, and also go for what are advantages and applications of your op-amp. Look here, as we know already, we have studied about the different types of amplifiers. It may be the single stage amplifier, or it may be the power amplifiers, or it may be a multi-stage amplifier, and recently we have studied about the feedback amplifiers. And in that all the amplifiers, we are giving more importance to this operational amplifier. And why you are giving more importance to operational amplifier? And as I said, what are the advantages and what is the important function of the op-amp? And basically, this op-amp, it is the most important and versatile building block of analog electronics. In short, we can write about op-amp. The operational amplifier, it is so important and versatile building block of analog electronics. In analog electronics, in every instrument, every device having this op-amp. If you want to construct any gadget, any device in analog electronics, you are using the op-amps. And especially in the 1946, they first developed the op-amp, and they have developed the op-amp by using the vacuum tubes. They have constructed the op-amp in the 1946 first time. They are constructed by using the vacuum tubes, and also they are constructed by using discrete elements. And because before 1946 our transistor were not invented, that's why they are constructed by using the vacuum tubes. And as we know, why you are not preferring the vacuum tubes? Because they are bulky in size, they require more voltage and more power. That's why we are using the op-amp. In 1963, they have developed, or they have introduced a first monolithic integrated circuit. In 1963, they have introduced or developed a monolithic integrated circuit in the 1963. And as we know, you are giving more importance to the integrated circuits. You are giving more importance to the integrated circuits, nothing but ICs. As we know, the IC nothing but integrated circuits. It means a silicon chip. You take a small silicon chip, and that silicon chip we can fabricate so many transistor, resistor, capacitor on a small chip. That is nothing but the ICs. It means actually in 1968 they have developed, introduced a so important and famous IC, that is UAL 741. Now you are in this topic or in this chapter, you are studying in detail about the IC 741, or you can say about IC 741. This was developed in the 1968 and it is constructed by using the technique of integrated circuit technology. It means nowadays the op-amps are constructed by the technique of integrated circuits, and this is about in brief introduction to the op-amp. And as I said to people, because you are constructed by using the integrated circuit technology, and as we know why we prefer the ICs, integrated circuits, because important, they are very low cost and they require very small space, compact in size, lightweight, and also easy to design, and they are very fast, and also they will go use for the multitask, and also they require very low power consumption, and they are having the more temperature stability. That's why we prefer the op-amp. Why we prefer op-amp? What are the advantages of the op-amp? Means it is having very lightweight, compact in size, easy to design, and they are very fast, and also they will handle, or they are having the more temperature stability, and they require very low power consumption. These are the advantages of your IC as well as the advantages of your op-amp. And now we go for what is called op-amp. Defining op-amp. And as I said, so many students will confuse. They will ask in the exam, maybe in your theory or maybe in your practical viva, what is op-amp? And so many students will confuse what is op-amp and why it is called op-amp. Basically, the op-amp is an directly coupled high gain differential amplifier. This is very simple definition of your op-amp. Op-amp is a direct coupled high gain differential amplifier. It is very simple definition of your op-amp. And if you go in deep, means in broad way, what you can say, another way of definition of your op-amp. Once again, no doubt, the op-amp operational amplifier, it is directly coupled high gain and high input impedance, low output impedance, and high bandwidth negative feedback differential amplifier. Once again, repeat. In simple way, is very simple. The op-amp is directly coupled high gain differential amplifier. And if you go another definition, no doubt, your operational amplifier, it is a directly coupled high gain, high input impedance, low output impedance, and high bandwidth, and it is having the negative feedback differential amplifier. This is about the another way of definition of your op-amp. And next question, why it is called op-amp? Why it is called op-amp? Now I said about what is op-amp or define op-amp. Now why it is called op-amp? Because it is called operational amplifier. No doubt, it will amplify the signals. Also, it will do another extra thing, that is, it is used as an addition. You can do subtraction. subtraction, and you can go for the multiplication, and it is also used as a differentiator. Differentiation. Also, you can go for the integrator. Why it is called op-amp means it will do the mathematical operations such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, differentiation, integration. That's what is called as op-amp. Don't confuse why it is called op-amp and what is op-amp. The op-amp, define op-amp and what is op-amp. It is a directly coupled, high gain and high input impedance, low output impedance, differential amplifier. That is something but what is op-amp. Why it is called op-amp means it will do the mathematical operations such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, differentiation, integration. Also you can go for can do it by logarithmic, anti-logarithmic applications. Your op-amp is used as a anti-logarithmic and logarithmic amplifier. These are the importance operation of your operation amplifier. Why it is called operation means there will be such type of operation. That's what is called an operational amplifier. Why it is called operational amplifier? Because it will not only amplify the signals, also that is used for the mathematical operations such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, differentiation, and also integration. Especially they are used in analog computers. This op-amp that is used for the analog computers to go for the mathematical operations. The op-amp is used in analog computers to go for the addition, subtraction, multiplication, differentiation, and integration. This is about the why it is called op-amp. And I will go for what are the applications. What are the important applications of your operational amplifier? What are the important applications of your operational amplifier? As I said, it is so important device because it is having more applications. The most important application is about it is used as a voltage regulator in the instrumentation and control systems. It is used as a voltage regulator, instrumentation and control system. And second one, it is used as a phase shifter. As we know, in oscillators we are using the op-amp because of it is used as a phase shifter. It means in oscillator we are using the op-amp. The function of op-amp is about phase shifter. And also in, as I said, in analog computers, and as I said, in people it is also used as a comparator. And also it is as a scale changer. It is also used as a sign changer. And there are so many applications. And it is also used as your the pulse generator. Or it is used in your wave shaping. It is used in your wave shaping. As we know, by using your op-amp, we can construct, I can generate the triangular wave, I can generate square waves, and these are the applications of your operational amplifier. Also, another most important thing, as we know, it is most important thing op-amp. It is by using the op-amp we can convert analog to digital. You can convert It is used for the to convert analog digital signals. Also, it is used for the A to D converter. It is also used for the D to A converter. And as you know, it is also used for the to convert voltage into current converter, or it can also is used for the current into voltage converters. Means having the also it is used for the active filters. It is also used for the active filters. These are the applications of your operational amplifier. It means, as I said, having so many applications. I said maybe 6 to 10 applications. The most important thing, why we are giving more importance to the operational amplifier, because of this all having the applications. It is used for the mathematical operation, addition, subtraction, multiplication, integration, differentiation, and as I said, you people about it is used as a logarithmic and anti-logarithmic amplifier. And also, it is having by using op-amp, we can convert the analog digital signal or digital to analog signal, or current into voltage or voltage into current. And as I said, it is used for to convert the scale changer or sign changer, and it is also used for the wave shaping. It is used for by generating different types of waveforms. Square wave, triangular wave can be generated by using your op-amp, and it is also used for wave shaping, and also it is used for, as I said, in your oscillators it is used for the phase shifting. In your control instrument system it is used as a voltage regulator. These are the different applications of your operation. And actually another important thing about your operation amplifier, it is having the advantages. It will amplify AC, it will amplify AC as well as DC signals. Another important function of your op-amp, by using op-amp you can amplify AC as well as DC signals, and it may be the range of amplification 0 to some megahertz. Up to that we can amplify the signals. 0 nothing but DC signals, and some megahertz nothing but DC signals. It means by using op-amp we can amplify AC as well as DC signals. And also another important thing, as you studied already, the single stage amplifiers and multi-stage amplifiers. The op-amp can combine both. The op-amp is having both the features. It is having single stage amplifier, it is having the feature of multi-stage amplifiers. It means what the single stage amplifier can do, that same function can done by your op-amp. What your multi-stage amplifier can do, that same thing done by your op-amp. It means the op-amp having the combination of both the features, single stage amplifier and multi-stage amplifiers. The features are combined. They are there in your operation amplifier. That also importance of your operation amplifier. And also in operation amplifier we can construct the linear and non-linear circuits. By using the op-amp we can construct linear and non-linear circuits. By using op-amp we can construct linear as well as non-linear circuits. That also another important function of your op-amp. And also actually in your op-amp it consists of transistors. As you know, it consists of transistors. But externally we can add the resistor, we can add resistor, We can add capacitors. Also, we can add the diodes. It means as we know, your operation amplifier can be constructed by using transistor, and also as we know, you are having some passive components. But that is there in the internal structure. But externally, you can connect the op amp. You can externally connect the resistor, capacitor, and diodes to the op amp. And where you are externally connecting, it may be if you are connecting the input side or if you are connecting output side, we are having the different applications of op amp. In simple way, while connecting the resistor, capacitor and the input output, we are having the different applications of op amp. Better, these are the most important things or properties of the operation amplifier. And actually, the operation amplifier, it is called as perfect amplifier. It is called perfect amplifier. Why it is called perfect amplifier? And as we know, you have studied different types of amplifiers. Also, you know, in that amplifier, we are giving more importance to the, yes, you are giving more importance to the voltage gain. Voltage gain. Also, you are giving more importance to the input impedance. Input impedance, and giving importance to the output impedance. Also, you are giving more importance to the bandwidth. In general, we want more voltage gain, more input impedance, very less output impedance. Also, we want more bandwidth, as we know already. And you have studied different types of amplifiers. In all the amplifiers, we are not getting more voltage gain, you are not getting more input impedance, you are not getting very less output impedance, so you are not getting more bandwidth. And everything is possible in your op amp. That's what is called a perfect amplifier. It is also called an ideal amplifier. Actually, nothing is ideal. It is not possible to construct an ideal amplifier. Still, they are having they are very near to the ideal. It is very near to the ideal. Why it is so near to the ideal? Because in your operation amplifier, you are having the more voltage gain. Nearly about, you are discussing in detail, nearly about, or you can write in the ideal is infinity. The voltage gain is nearly about infinity. And the input impedance is also ideal, it is infinity, but it is some mega ohms for practically. And output impedance is actually 0, but there are some ohms or some 10 ohms. And as we know, we want more bandwidth. Actually, the bandwidth is also infinity, but you are having some megahertz or some more bandwidth. And finally, another important thing, the noise. The noise can be reduced by using your op amp, or also the distortions. By using your op amp, you can reduce the distortions, also you can reduce the noise. Especially, these are the important parameters of any amplifier. But these are so important for op amp. Why we prefer op amp? Why it is called the perfect amplifier? Because all the requirements are fulfilling all the requirements. What is exactly the ideal amplifier, or what is called perfect amplifier? Every parameters can be satisfied, or you can verify by using your operation amplifier. It means why the operation amplifier is called perfect amplifier. It is ideal amplifier because it is having more voltage gain, more input impedance, very less output impedance, and more bandwidth, and also we want very less noise and less distortion. Everything is possible in your operation amplifier. That's why they prefer the operation amplifier, or give more importance of operation amplifier. That's why I said it is so interesting. What I'm saying means these are the important properties of our operation amplifier. Now we will go for the what is the block diagram. What is the block diagram of your operational amplifier. You go for the block diagram of op-amp. It is also important question for your exam point of view. They will ask in exam, explain the block diagram of operational amplifier. It means you are studied in detail about what is called op-amp, why it is called op-amp, what are the advantages of op-amp, and what are the applications of op-amp. Also, what are the important parameters or characteristics of your operational amplifier. And finally, as I said, we are going further discussing about the block diagram of your operational amplifier. Actually, it is having the 4 blocks. It is having 4 blocks, and it is input stage, and it is having the V1 and V2, and it is having the gain stage. Second is about gain stage, and third one is about level shifter, or level shifting, and finally having the output stage. The output stage. Final output. It means we'll go for one by one, and as I said you people, it is having the 4 blocks, and the first block is called input stage, and second block is called gain stage, and third block is called level shifting, and the fourth one is called output stage. And we'll go for one by one. The first one important is about input stage. Input stage. It means actually in the block diagram of your op-amp, or actually the input stage you are using about the differential amplifier. You are using the input stage about differential. You are using differential amplifier. In the input stage you are using a so important amplifier that is called differential amplifier. Actually, the differential amplifier is also called a heart of an operational amplifier. The differential amplifier is a heart of an operational amplifier, because whenever you construct in the operational amplifier, the first stage is nothing but your differential amplifier, or the input stage is nothing but your differential amplifier. And basically, your op-amp is a differential amplifier. As I said in the beginning, it is a differential amplifier. And you go in detail about differential amplifier. In brief, the differential amplifier, but it will amplify the difference between the 2 signals. The differential amplifier, but it will amplify the difference between the 2 signals. That's what is called as differential amplifier. And why you are using the differential amplifier in the block diagram of op-amp? The most important thing, we want more voltage gain. We want more voltage gain. We want more voltage gain. This more voltage gain is given by your differential amplifier. And also we want more input impedance. We want more input impedance. We want more input impedance. It will give the more input impedance, and also the another important property of your differential amplifier, it will amplify the difference between the 2 signals. It means we can, by using, we can reduce the noise. You can reduce the noise. Or it is having, I will discuss afterwards. It is having the more CMRR. CMRR nothing but common mode rejection ratio. Which one is common for the input and output? That will produces. Which one is common for the both the inputs? It may be noise, it may be unwanted signal. Which are common for the both the inputs will be reduced. That also one important property of the input stage. Especially in the input stage, you are using the dual input and balanced output differential amplifier. In the input stage, you are using the difference amplifier. The difference amplifier having the two inputs and two outputs. What I am saying? In the block diagram of op-amp, it is having the input stage having the differential amplifier. The differential amplifier having the two inputs and two outputs. The differential amplifier having the two inputs and two outputs. And also, as I said, your op-amp is a directly coupled amplifier. As I said, it is a directly coupled amplifier. Why it is called directly coupled amplifier means the first stage and next stage they are directly coupled. The first stage of output is actually input to the next stage. That is nothing but you are not using any coupling device. You are directly connecting output to the input. That's what is called as directly coupled amplifier. It means the first stage and next stage they are directly coupled. You are not using any coupling device in between the two stages. The first stage output acts for the input to the next stage. That is, we are not connecting any coupling device. That's what is called as direct coupled amplifier. It means in the input stage, we are using the dual input and dual output differential amplifier, or it is called dual input and balanced differential amplifier. And what is the use of this first stage means? It will give you the more voltage gain, it will give you the more input impedance and reduce the noise, and also you are having the more, it is having the more CMRR. CMRR nothing but the common mode rejection ratio. This is about the importance of your input stage. And I will go for the next stage, that is about your gain stage. The second one is about gain stage. And especially in the gain stage, here also I am using another one type of differential amplifier, because whatever the gain given by the first stage is not enough. Once again you are to increase the gain, you are using the gain stage, you are using another one type of differential amplifier. And here you are using it is called dual input and single output differential amplifier. Or it is also called as dual input and unbalanced output differential amplifier. In the gain stage, once again you are using a differential amplifier. That amplifier having the two inputs and only one output. It is called the dual input and unbalanced output differential amplifier. It means whatever the gain given by input stage, it is not enough. We want more gain. That more gain is given by your second stage. It is also called as intermediate stage. It is also called as intermediate stage. It is also called as gain stage, because once again we want more gain. Practically you are using an cascade amplifiers. In the gain stage you are using a cascaded multi-stage amplifier. You are using the cascaded multi-stage amplifiers. In the gain stage you are in the cascaded multi-stage amplifiers. It may be your CE or it may be CB. As you know, cascaded nothing but they are using the same type of amplifiers in the both the stages. It means in the gain stage nothing but we want more gain. That more gain is given by, theoretically you are using the another type of differential amplifier. Practically you are using the cascaded multi-stage amplifiers, because we want more gain, and whatever the gain given by the input stage that is not sufficient, we want more gain. That more gain is given by the another type of differential amplifier, that is nothing but dual input and unbalanced output differential amplifier, or practically I was using cascaded multi-stage amplifiers. It may be CB or it may be CE type of amplifiers. This is about the gain stage. And as I said, you people, it may be the gain stage or maybe your input stage, they are all directly coupled. They are all directly coupled. And as we know, your basically the op-amp is called as DC amplifier. Basically, the op-amp is also called as DC amplifier. Why it is called DC amplifier? Basically, the op-amp is called the DC amplifier. It is also called as DC amplifier. It means, as you know, it is called direct coupled amplifier, or we can also amplify the DC signals. We can amplify the DC signal, that is, it is called as DC amplifier. It means because of direct coupled and because of in your op amp you are not using any capacitors. You are not using any capacitors. Because of you are not using any capacitor, if you use the capacitor, they will block the DC. And because in your block diagram op amp or in op amp you are not using any capacitors, and that's why, as I said, it is called direct coupled. It means you are not using any coupling devices. It may be RC coupled, or maybe transformer coupled, or maybe any in your inductors you are not using. It means because of directly coupled, what happens? The DC level is very more. Whatever the output of your gains is very, the DC level of that output is very more, because it is direct coupled. Because of direct coupled, what happens? The DC, the output, DC level of the voltage is very more. Because of the direct coupled, the output voltage is very more here. And how to reduce that voltage? That the voltage is more than the ground potential. The DC level, the output voltage is more than the ground potential. It means by using the level shifter, we can reduce the DC level of the signal. Why you are using DC level shifting? Means if you are not using the DC level shifter, in the output you are getting the distortions, or you are not getting the faithful amplification, or your Q current may shift. It means by using the level shifting or level shifter, we can reduce the DC level of the output voltage. We can reduce the DC level of the output voltage, or we can reduce the DC level to the zero potential. We can reduce the DC level to the zero potential. Why we get the more DC voltage here? Because you are using the direct coupled. Your op amp is a direct coupled amplifier. Because the direct coupled, the DC level is very more, or the output voltage is very more DC level. And how to reduce the DC level, or how to reduce the DC level zero potential? That is by using your level shifting. Especially in your level shifting, you are using another type of amplifier, that is you are using an CC amplifier. You are using CC amplifier, or you are using it is also called as emitter follower. Here is emitter follower, is also called as buffer amplifier. In the level shifting, they are using CC amplifier. It is called emitter follower. It is also called as buffer amplifier. And why you are using the CC amplifier or emitter follower here? Because it will give the more input impedance. That more input impedance will protect the loading effect of the previous stages. And also it will give it is also used as a constant current source. It is also used as a constant current source. And it means the importance of level shifting is about here you are having a more DC level. That more DC level can be reduced by using your level shifter. By using level shifter, you can shift the DC level to the ground level, or you can reduce the voltage level to the ground potential or zero potential. That is by using DC level shifter. Especially using CC amplifier, it is called emitter follower. It is also called a buffer amplifier. And the important property buffer amplifier or your emitter follower, it is having the very more input impedance. That more input impedance will protect the loading effect of the initial changes. This is about the level shifting. Level shifting nothing but will shift the level of the DC level. Why it is called level shifting? Means it will shift the level of the DC level. It will shift the level, or it will reduce the DC level of the output voltage. And finally, we are using the output stage. The output stage is nothing but you are using an push-pull amplifier. In the final you are using the push-pull amplifier. In the final you are using the output stage is nothing but you are using a push-pull amplifier. Some book they are given complementary push-pull amplifier, and some book they are given class B or class C push-pull amplifier. In the overall, you are using the output stage, you are using a push-pull amplifier. And why you are using the push-pull amplifier in the final stage or in the output stage, you are using the push-pull amplifier. As we know, you are studying in detail the class B push-pull amplifier. Why you are using here the push-pull amplifier? They will give the more voltage swing. They will give the more voltage swing. Also, they will give the more current. We want more voltage and more current as output. That more voltage and more current is given by your push-pull amplifier. Also, in the final, we want very low output impedance. We want very low output impedance. That low output impedance also given by your push-pull amplifier. Right? And because of this property of push-pull amplifier, in the output stage, we want more voltage swing. Also, we want we can increase the current level. We can increase the current level or we can increase the current. That's why we will prefer the push-pull amplifier in the output stage. And also another important thing, in the output stage, you want very low output impedance. As we know, why we require the low output impedance to drive the so many devices. Maybe your load, or maybe any DC machines, or maybe any as you know about the public ATM system, public ATM system. That's why to drive the output devices, we require very low output impedance. The low output impedance is given by the push-pull amplifier. Also, we want more voltage and more current, but everything is given by your push-pull amplifier. That's why in the output stage we are using a push-pull amplifier. We are using a complementary push-pull amplifier, or we are using class A, B or class B push-pull amplifier, because we want more voltage, also we want more current, and most important thing, we want very less output impedance. It will give the very less output impedance. That's why we prefer the push-pull amplifier. This is about in brief about your block diagram of operation amplifier, and as I said, in simple way, in the input stage you are using the dual input and dual output, or I said dual input balanced output differential amplifier. Why you are using differential amplifier in the input stage? Because we want more voltage gain. It will give more input impedance. Also, you can reduce the noise, or you can reduce the common signals. That's why we prefer the differential amplifier in the input stage. And in the gain stage, once again you are using another one type of differential amplifier, because whatever given by the gain for the first stage is not enough. You want more voltage gain. That voltage gain given by the another type of differential amplifier, that is dual input and single output differential amplifier, or you can say dual input unbalanced differential amplifier. Overall, it will give the more voltage gain, or it will give the more gain. And practically, you are using, as I said, you are using a cascade amplifiers. You are using a cascade multi-stage amplifiers in the gain stage. And as we know, in the first stage and second stage, they are connected directly. That's what is called direct coupled. We are not using any capacitors, we are not using any resistors. It is called directly coupled. Because of directly coupled and output of first stage acts for the input next stage, that is, you are not using anything and directly coupled. That's why, what is the drawback of direct coupled? Because direct coupled, the DC level is very more. The DC level is very more. Or the output voltage here, the output voltage is very more. If you are having very more DC level, they may affect your output. Output may be distorted, or output may be unfaithful application. To reduce the DC level, you are using a level shifter or level shifting. By using level shifter, you can reduce the DC level to the ground potential. And especially in the level shifter, you are using the common collector amplifier. It is also called emitter follower. It is also called a buffer amplifier. And as we know the property of emitter follower, it is having the very more input impedance. Because of more input impedance, it will protect the loading effect of the previous stage. This is about the level shifter. And finally, in the output stage, we are using an complementary push pull amplifier, or using class A, or so we are using class B or class A push pull amplifier. And why we are using class class B or class A push pull amplifier? Because or in general we are using push pull power amplifier. Why you are using push pull power amplifier? Because we want more voltage swing. Also, we want more current capability to handling the op amp. Also, we want another most important thing, we want very less output impedance. Everything is given by your amplifier, given by your push pull amplifier. That's why in the output stage we are using about the push pull amplifier in the output stage. This is about in brief about block diagram. And in the next class, we go for what is the importance of difference amplifier and what are the types of difference amplifier, and also if possible, we go for the working of difference amplifier. Thank you.